It's in the process. Hello, everybody. I'm just checking to make sure we're on. Coming on to talk about my cruise this October with Regent 7 Seas. Let's see, Steve, let's see where we are here. Here we are. I always love it when it works. Okay, if anyone can let us know that you hear us, we'll keep going. I'm Kathy McCabe. I'm the host of Dream of Italy and Dream of Europe on PBS. Just back from my first Regent 7 Seas cruise, and I'm here with Steve O'Dell from Regent 7 Seas to talk about the Regent experience and the cruise I'm taking people on in October. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. It's good to join you.
Great to join you. And now I'm a Regent expert now that I've been on board.
That's great. Very pleased to hear you had such a good time.
I had a wonderful time. Oh, Rose is on here. Rose is one of our one of the people who came on board for me, and we had a great group of people. And that's one of the things about travel and being on a cruise. And they're not just for couples anymore. There's friends. We had some solo travelers, families. Isn't that an interesting way things have changed, Steve? And I know that a lot of your programs, Janice is on it. All my cruise people are on here. Hi, Janice. So how do you cater to all these different groups of people that come aboard?
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. You do meet fantastic new friends when you go on board cruises. I mean, over the years, I've collected many, who've remained solid friends, and actually we've joined up and gone cruising again. And meeting in all sorts of places around the world. So yeah, it is such a social environment that you really you really meet great people, like-minded people, and I think that's the really about it. And we are seeing quite a change in the kind of customers that we get these days. I mean, the multi-generational families are definitely growing, where maybe the grandparents bring their kids and the grandkids. I mean, that is changing the demographic completely on board. But we're seeing a lot of solo travelers, people who really.
I love that. We had some on our trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because we provide a friendly and a safe place where people do socialize, we attract a lot of solos as a result of that. But we're getting all sorts of generations of people. It makes a superb mix, I think.
It does. You don't want just one kind of person on board. So we are here to talk about this amazing itinerary that I'll be on this October. And you've been to all of the ports. I've been to 2 of the 4. Right. So we first of all, the time of year. So we're leaving October 5th of this year. So it's great if people haven't taken a trip yet or want to get another one in this year. October 5th from Trieste, Italy. We're going to Croatia, Montenegro. And then it pulls into Athens, Greece, which I was just there with the other cruise. Yeah. But tell me a little bit about what makes this cruise unique. I know you call it an immersive journey.
Yeah, this is something that is quite new for Regent, but we're trying to think a little bit out of the box. When people go to the Mediterranean, they typically want to tick off countries and ports and see as much as possible in a short period of time. And of course, on the cruise, you unpack once and we move you to all these places, which is one of the best things about the cruise travel experience. But we decided to test some new voyages where we spend longer in port. So instead of going to, say, 8 ports in a cruise, we'll go to 4, and then we spend longer in the port.
I love this idea.
Yeah, and I mean, the reaction to this has been fantastic. We're going to talk about this cruise specifically, but it means that you can, instead of having to choose an excursion in a day, you've actually got a chance to do more things. So you might go sightseeing one day, you might want to go off on your own the following day and do a walk around the town. But the beauty of it is also that you're there overnight. So going ashore in the evening, if even on a organized tour or on independently, to go to great restaurants, sit on the quayside at a beautiful local restaurant, enjoy a glass of wine with local food. It gives people the freedom to see a lot more of the destination, especially in the evening.
Yes, and I'll be taking.
A different way. Yeah.
So part of what I'll be doing on the cruise is going on some of these shore excursions and bringing the group. And we're going to do a few of them in the evening, which I'm so excited about, because to see a place in the evening is totally different.
Totally different. That's it.
There's great restaurants to go to for dinner. So I love that. So each port will be staying overnight.
Overnight. That's right. Yeah. So you really get a different perspective of a destination. Instead of sailing at 5 o'clock and then, you're on board and then you're sailing to the next place, you get much more of an immersion. So I think it's going to be great for you.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm like, the cruise lifestyle is addictive, because I'm going on another trip this summer, and I'm like, wait, I have to pack and unpack and plan. Yeah. Wait, I have to buy tickets for things. I have to, all these little things that go into a trip.
Exactly right.
Even if you have a travel advisor, all these little decisions. We're back.
No, we're back. No, I was going to say, I was going to give you an example of my own experience. I took a year off from the business a year ago, and we traveled a lot. We did some cruises and we did some land programs. I mean, two things stood out for me with cruising, even though I've worked in the cruise business a very long time. One was the convenience, because, you go on board, you unpack once, you are moved by the ship. You don't have to think about booking restaurants or, where you're going to go for the evening for entertainment. It's taken care of. And the other thing is the value, because when we were staying on land, you check into a hotel, but you get a room, and everything else you do, you pay for. So I think the value proposition of the cruise stood out to me in my year of travels more than anything. And I certainly saw that in my credit card. My credit card looked very different when I was on a...
Absolutely. So the drinks are included, the food, and there you have the specialty restaurants, the shore excursions, transfers. It really adds up. Wi-Fi, a lot of other cruises charge for every little
and
thing.
Small things like laundry, that laundry's included. And, when you've been
traveling... I love that.
Yeah, when you've been traveling a long time, you collect. So
I was lucky enough, if you're in a certain category of suite, they're all suites and all have balconies. I had a butler, Steve.
Oh, yes. Well, that makes a big difference for organizing yourself. Yeah.
And then the butler came, and anyone who watches me when I travel for work and filming, I have like 4 suitcases. It's horrific. It's a crime. It's too much. Well, my butler the night before came over and packed my suitcases.
How about that?
There wasn't just one. I got my money's worth, but it's really such a treat in a way. You really feel taken care of. Everyone's there. I think we had like 500 crew members for 600 guests. It's the ratio is incredible. They're from all over the world. And so I know that Janice and Rose are on here. They should leave a comment with what their favorite parts of the cruise were. They were on a last cruise, and Rose has already booked her next Regent cruise. Yeah. What is that? Tell me about that, because people have allegiances to cruise lines like they do to sports teams.
Yeah. I think, cruising is addictive. There's no question about that. And I think people get, if you experience good service and you have a great time, there's less risk in moving around to try other things. And that's where we get a lot of loyalty and a lot of repeat guests coming to us, because they know the experience is good and they know the staff. We actually have staff that have worked for us on board for many, many years, and it almost becomes like another family that you join. And some people would even come to a cruise because there is a certain general manager or there's a maitre d'. It's almost like coming home to a family.
No, I felt that.
Yeah.
The thing that I was very struck by that, just how friendly everyone was. And even when my butler, you can be as friendly or not, you can have whatever kind of connection. But my butler, while he's packing my bags, we had just a fascinating conversation about where he was from, what his favorite places he'd seen in the world, because he'd been more places than I'd ever been. It's those connections. And the thing about Regent is it's such understated elegance. It's not what old cruising used to be.
No.
You don't even see like a logo. many places. It's very understated, like a boutique hotel.
I think you're right, and and that actually is where we're sort of trying to take things. That it's a carefree environment. The architecture's, what we're trying to do is create a residential feel, like you're coming to someone's home. Beautiful
Yes.
artworks, beautiful bespoke furniture. The comfort of home away from home, and I think that that motto is, really what we strive to achieve.
And the rooms are gorgeous. I had an upgrade to the penthouse suite, which I would highly recommend if anyone wants to book at that level. A beautiful, large balcony. A couple of nights, I ate outside on my balcony, or they brought champagne, and I love the sea air.
Yes.
And I would leave that sliding glass door. It was right next to my bed. I would leave it open, and at night to smell the ocean. And it's just, there is something about the ocean, the sea, and traveling on it.
There is. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and the comfort of these suites is something that we're very proud of. And each of the suites has outdoor space. So, you have a sliding door onto your veranda. So you've got indoor and outdoor living. And actually, a lot of people just like staying in their suite the whole time.
I
know. And you can take room service from any of the menus and have them in your suite. So, it's a beautiful place to hide away and just relax and chill out.
You can have as much of the go experience. There's always an activity. Let's talk about those. I took tango lessons.
Oh, did you?
He was fabulous, the dance instructor.
Yes.
The trivia. I can't wait. I'm going to start. Melane's watching. I'm starting my trivia questions now.
Yeah.
Mine were a little hard. They were a little stumped in there, Steve. They earned it. So trivia, I think they do it every day. I was the host one day.
Every afternoon. But
right. It's like serious. There's a serious crowd.
Oh, points for prizes. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's the very competitive folks on there. But it's super fun.
Yeah.
The spa is fabulous. I had a massage.
Yeah.
I also got my hair done in the spa and my nails done. So there's all kinds of, we did a seminar on how the TV show is made. We'll probably do something similar about travel or travel writing or travel television on board. So you can come to lectures. There's a beautiful library.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
The real books, I mean, and I think sometimes we forget in the modern world that these things are important. There is a fully stocked library where you can just go and pick a book off the shelf, take it away, return it at the end of your cruise. I mean, that to me is a beautiful piece of tradition that sometimes we forget today because we read a lot of things digitally. But, this is a step back into.
No, I'm going on a trip soon, and I bought some paperbacks, and I'm like, it's going to be a little heavier, but I like, especially if you're sitting on that balcony or the pool was quite large.
Yeah.
The hot tub, you've got the grill is fabulous for eating. We'll get to the food in a second. That deserves its whole own section. At night, they had karaoke. My sound guy sang Sinatra.
Okay.
You have a casino, but it's very, it's there if you want it. Everything is really understated.
Yeah. I mean, when you plan an evening out, everything is taken care of, and you can just move from venue to venue. You don't have to worry about a dinner reservation or where you're going to see entertainment. I mean, it's basically there on board and available to everyone. So sometimes it's kind of like the non-thinking travel. Just everything is there at your doorstep.
You get that newsletter every night, print newsletter on your bed at Turndown. It gives you, I did a tip for each day in the newsletter, tells you about the destination, where to go to get off, all the activities for the next day. And then if there's any, we had to change our program one day because of winds, and man, they're on it like that. It changed. We had great activities. I'm sort of a coffee addict, and it's very interesting for us to leave from Trieste because that's where we have coffee.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to our friend Melaine. There's Ely even has a coffee school in Trieste. So
They do.
if some of my people come, I might be able to organize something the day we go to try that out. But I was worried about the coffee, Steve, because you get addicted. You go to Italy and you become a snob. And then I had to go, I'm sorry if anyone's French, I had to go to France in September. The coffee isn't just not the same.
Well, I'm an Aussie, so coffee is like the center stone of life. And
but you guys have that coffee connections, your own coffee bar. The coffee is very good on board. But
yes,
if you're used to you want a latte this way, that way, cappuccino. We even filmed with the coffee barista because he was a hoot. So you can feed your coffee addiction on board, and there's always a nice display of pastries and sandwiches. You're not going to starve.
More casual sort of dining, and I agree with you. I mean, coffee on board is great, and you can't always say that about the cruise industry and that kind of thing. So we've really spent a lot of time and attention.
Well, you want to feel you get the quality of, if you're going to a 5-star hotel in all these different cities, are you getting this quality? And so let's talk about the food. I ate the Compass Rose is excellent. That's the main restaurant. But your specialty restaurants, tell me about those, and I'll tell you what I liked.
The Compass Rose menu really gives you just about everything you could ever think of. I mean, there's a set menu every day, but there's also a la carte where you can pretty much choose anything that you want. And if not, we'll find it and cook it. But we do have the specialty restaurants, which can be booked for dinner. So we have Prime 7, our steakhouse is based on really like a New York steakhouse style. And then we have Chartreuse, our French restaurant, which
I loved it. That one knocked my socks off.
Yeah, really delicious food.
It was really good.
Yeah. And then, there's seafood, of course, Settimare, the Italian restaurant.
That was excellent.
A very nice choice with Italian-style tapas dishes like sharing antipasto, but also great pastas, fish.
Yes, they make them fresh.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if Voyager, it's probably the same setup, the windows, in these restaurants, you really are right over the sea, the ocean. It's always part of the experience.
And we've also like to mention the outdoor dining, because I think that's popular, particularly when you're in the Mediterranean. People like to dine outside. So we have outdoor options as well. And that, particularly at this time of year when it's not, so hot, people really like the option to dine out. And so we've got a lot of choices for people and then, of course, if you want to do room service and eat in the comfort of your suite, you can take any of that of those menus and dine at home. And when you're traveling, I mean, I always say when I go traveling to eat for 10 nights in beautiful restaurants like this, sometimes it's a bit too much for me, and sometimes I just have a spaghetti bolognese in my.
And the thing is, you can get you can get there's dishes. You have that a la carte. You can get something simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can go all out. You can have drinks in your suite on your balcony and little appetizers. And I saw I got a galley tour, Steve.
Wow.
To see, which is fascinating, how the ship kitchen works. And I saw the caviar. And where everything is sourced from, where all this delicious food comes from was really, really interesting. I didn't have a chance to partake, but you also have culinary lessons.
Yeah, we do.
Events.
We have a culinary kitchen. So where we teach dishes that we serve on board, but we also, go to a more basic level of cooking school as well. Now that's a really nice feature. Which is new in our Explorer class ships. So people like that because it's good eating all this food, but it's nice to know how it could be prepared in your own home.
I know you want to make it at home. And then I would have just because I was mostly working and we were filming, I would have you get that card you can put on your door every at night to order your breakfast and have it
Breakfast
delivered.
served. Yeah, yeah.
And he would put it on the table on my balcony, and I mean, it's hard to beat that experience. Again, it comes back to that environment that we're in. Yeah, but I think one big thing we haven't covered yet, which I was really impressed with, were the shore excursions. Those are all included.
That's right. Yeah, we have choices in every port. There can be half-day tours or full-day tours, but they are included in the cost, and that's a great value proposition.
It is.
With us.
Let me just tell you, I go to Italy a lot for my work. If you want to hire a car and driver, a private van and a driver, it's $1,000 a day. Yeah. You're not in a private van on these shore excursions, but talking about the cost of what an excursion on your own can be.
Yeah, that's right. And it's the convenience of it, and we keep the tours to small numbers, maximum 30, but quite often the groups are smaller than that.
They're usually, the ones we're on were fairly
I mean, we never fill, we use smaller buses, we never fill them. And I think that, creates a good experience for people because they can talk to the guides, they can get attention. When you're walking around or in a location, you're not in a crowd of people where you can't actually understand or listen to what the guide is saying. So it's a very successful part of what we do, included in our fares. And on the cruise you're planning in October, there are some great tours on those cruises as well.
And you can take them because you arrive on the ship in Trieste and stay the night.
Yeah.
You're taking one of your shore excursions at the beginning and the end too. It's not just you're not just getting on in the city, you're actually exploring it.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got time to do a tour, but you've also got time to freewheel. I mean, I'm a freewheeler. I like getting out and walking in the back streets and finding the color of a place. With this time in port, you've got the chance to do both things. I always like to start anywhere with a city tour. Those open top buses for me always work if I go to a new city. So you can get a sense of what the city has to offer. But the tours are fantastic and that orientation is good. But then you've got the flexibility and freedom to do your own thing. And going back to Trieste, I mean, I was going to talk about coffee. We already covered it, but that city is full of beautiful
coffee culture,
the old town, and there's that. It's got the influence of the origins of the city, which was part of Austria.
I know it's very different than any other part of Italy.
It is, yeah, and Ljubljana in Slovenia, which is the next country, is the same. I mean, you almost feel sometimes like you're in Austria rather than in Italy.
Yeah.
So there's beautiful things to see. The combination of the Italian flair and the Austrian history creates such a beautiful environment there.
I'm excited to go there again. And then people have the option, it's not that far from Venice to also, if they haven't been to Venice.
It's about an hour and a half from Venice.
Right. So they can do that on one day if they want to. But I'm really excited about Croatia and Montenegro because we are all going to the same places these days, and these places are new and different. And I was saying before, you can tell your neighbors about them, and they've never been to these cities.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about both these cities is that there is a strong Italian influence. I mean, they were once part of Italy.
Great seafaring,
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, they're maritime cities. I mean, Zadar's old town is a beautiful place to walk around, no traffic. And the churches and the museums and the art that you see there are exceptional. It's a really beautiful place.
I can't wait. And it's, again, it's not over. It's an up and coming destination.
Yeah.
My concern always lately is places that are just too popular. And Trieste is a great choice.
Yes.
Because it's not, there are too many people there.
That's
right. I think this is what I'm looking for. I know people watching the show are looking for. And then Montenegro, I keep hearing so much about.
So when you go to Kotor, you sail through the fjord for several hours. I mean, at points in that journey through the fjord, you can almost reach out and touch the sides as you pass through the narrow gaps. and there's a lot of beautiful islands with churches. It's so scenic. And then you dock in the middle of Kotor, in the Bay of Kotor. The town is sort of nestled in a corner of the bay, and it's a fortress town. So you can walk around in the old town, which is beautiful, and great shopping, and restaurants. And then if you're really feeling energetic, you can walk up to the fortress at the top. I don't know how many steps there are, but it was a tough climb, but it was a well worth it trip to make, because the view from the top is unbelievable, and you see from the very top the ship nestled down in the bottom of the bay.
No, it's always something to see that ship, isn't it? When it's
quite incredible
down below, and it's such a good size. I don't know if we mentioned it. It's 700 passengers.
Yeah, so, we can get up close. We can dock in most of these.
Right.
And I think that's another thing with cruising, that there are much bigger ships around that might carry 3,000 or 4,000 people. They can't get to these places.
No.
So we try in our itinerary planning to get to as many of the small ports as we can, that are so they're more accessible. And when you arrive, you're the only ship there.
That's nice. That's what we're looking for. That's the experience. There's so many ways to see Europe.
Yes.
I was talking to a friend about this the other day. So many. You can bike. You can, all these specialty tours, go on your own. But cruising, you just see. It's like when I tell people when they go to Italy that they should rent a car, because you'll see things you would never see. Either on a train or whatever. Train is great too, but on the cruise, seeing Croatia has like hundreds of islands.
Oh, that's
I'm sure we're going to be, going.
You'll be sailing among the islands going down. I mean, it's so picturesque.
Greece, the Greek islands, sailing through those. I mean, it's kind of neat. There's always something in the horizon. There's always another island that you're passing. Right.
And what I'm always impressed by sailing down that coast, the Dalmatian coast, and in the Greek islands, is the color of the water. It's just so blue. And it's beautiful.
And I had somebody ask me, is it rough? Is it sailing? And the ships these days are so incredibly well built. And then you have such data on the radar, and the weather doesn't get that extreme in this part, of Europe. So it's very easy sailing. And sometimes I talk to the captain, when I was on the Splendor, he's like, I get people telling me they want more action.
But most of the time you're cruising near the coast anyway.
Yeah. So I don't think people should be concerned. It was very smooth.
Yeah.
Never for a moment did I feel like, it's a little, in fact, I was like, when it would get a teeny bit, it would like rock me to sleep. So I love it.
Yeah. And it's a nice time of year. I mean, October is, it's getting off season. So less crowds, still beautiful weather, clear blue skies. It's a great time of year to go.
What do you think surprises people about Regent? Like when you read their feedback, what is it that you feel you do really well?
I think, as a luxury hotel and a boutique hotel, I think people are really impressed with the focus on service and the attention to detail. The people factor for us is one of the most important things in what we do, and people come to us for maybe 10 days or 12 days. Mostly they'll stay in hotels for 3 or 4 days. So it's really important that we deliver on service and expectations, and I think that's what people are, really impressed by in terms of how we handle things. And we try to make the word no not in the vocabulary. We try to do everything.
I like that. Yeah. That's service.
But I think it also goes back to the value, though, because I think people don't necessarily understand the value of the cruise they buy until they get on board. Because really, we're covering everything. I mean, the only thing we're charging for is a spa, for example. Because we simply can't accommodate 700 people's.
Oh, it's it's a nice spa though.
And then there are people who like fine wines. I mean, obviously the more expensive wines we charge for, And of course, the shops we can't include, but those are the only things.
That's what people. So if they use the code Dream of Europe, they can use the $500 shipboard credit
they can,
on these. Use it in the spa, the wine, the shops are real. I really couldn't go very far in, Steve, because I was going to buy a lot. You sort of see it from outside, and there's whoever does the buying for the boutique. It's beautiful, and I was like, no, I can't. If I go in, I can't.
That's it. You'll be lost.
But so that's where that $500 shipboard credit can come in.
I think so. And we do also offer some more specialized tours. There might be things that people will see in our tour list that, are more about individual travel with a driver in a car. Some people like to do that in certain places. It might be, a private tour up in a car to, the Acropolis to the Parthenon in Athens, for example.
Yeah.
You can buy those things with the credit.
Good. Well, there's plenty. There's
something to spend it on.
Plenty to spend it on, but you don't have to spend another dime when you get on board.
You don't have to. I mean, you could put your wallet in the safe and not use it. I mean, that's the truth. But
And what I love, the food. You can order if you want 3 appetizers and you want to try one of everything. You can do that. They encourage that. You can eat at the grill. There's so many choices, even for a ship this size, like the grill when you're out at the pool. I love that we did a cocktail making. The cocktails.
Oh, they're good.
There was the smoky one.
I
can't remember what it was called, but real creativity. So again, like any kind of experience you would get, a travel experience with the mixology, everything is sort of up to date of an experience you would get at a boutique hotel.
City. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to, we look at what hotels do. I mean, luxury hotels are a benchmark to see what is happening today in luxury hotels in the big cities. So we're trying to follow trends. Cocktails, definitely, like martinis, particularly. There's a culture around botanic gins and things like that.
Oh, I love gin.
Yeah, we try to follow those kind of trends.
Gin is really popular, so we enjoyed that. So there's just so much, and the shows are quite good for a ship that size. All the performers are fantastic.
I think it's, and again, that's not something that happens most evenings, and you don't. You can just have the freedom to choose whether you participate or not. But we really like. We have piano bar. We have like all kinds of entertainment, dance, and really that again, it's something that's there if you want it. If you don't want it, you don't use it. But it's a non. It's not something you have to organize yourself or think about. It's part of what we do.
Right. And so I wanted to explain the advantage of coming with me. We've also said, Regent is great no matter when you want to go. This itinerary is particularly good. But if you come with me, I'm very social. And so I had a dinner almost every night or had people come sit with me. So I really encourage solo travelers because we had at least one, maybe two. You don't feel alone because you have a group you're going with. So I hosted a cocktail party one night or 2 nights. Dinners, we did like the specialty. We did a specialty. We did lunch in Chartreuse. We did dinner in Compass Rose. And then and we'll get this ahead of time to people. I went on hosted some of the shore excursions. And then we did the seminar about the TV show. So it's kind of a touchstone for people who love my TV show or like what I do to come, and they'll meet other people who fall in that same category. It's just a special reason to choose a particular sailing.
It's so important to be with like-minded people. I think that that's a key to this. I mean, there's no risk when you come to a cruise like this. You will meet like-minded people who are worldly and have got lots of stories to tell.
We all talked about places we've been,
yes.
And some people hadn't started traveling till later in life, and everyone shared the different ways. Other, some had been on Regent before, some had, this was their first cruise. And what was funny is, when we got on before and we were talking, I'm in touch with all these people that came on the cruise. We became a group of friends. We're trying to do a trip again next year.
That's fantastic.
Maybe
and of course, you meet people from all around the world as well, which I always think is nice, meeting people from different countries and different cultures.
That is nice too. It's not just Americans. It's people from all over.
That's right. And I think that helps you, you understand things a lot better when you're in that kind of environment. It's good to meet people from different places. So that's a very big strength.
So I don't know if anyone is on the chat right now who's interested or pretty serious about booking. If you leave a comment, we might have a little extra gift for you. But what else can I talk about? So if you go to, the easy way to get to the cruise is dreamofitaly.com/October cruise, or you can go to rssc.com and you look for Trieste, October 5th, 2024. The code is Dream of Europe, which is one of my TV shows. Or if you mention Dream of Italy, they'll probably figure it out. For a $500 shipboard credit, and you want to book early because last time it was sold out. The cruise, they end up selling out. People sit and think about it, but then everyone else, jumps on it.
Yeah.
So I hope that people will consider coming. It was a trip of a lifetime. It was really something incredible, and you get to. And I have to say, Athens. We just did 2 episodes in Greece.
Oh yes.
Greece is unbelievable. And I had been to Athens before, but there's so many layers. And I have to say the Acropolis, when you're standing on the Acropolis, it's an existential or religious experience. It's unbelievable. I'd been 20 years ago. I hadn't been back. Yeah. And it's just as awe-inspiring. It's like ancient Greece, and then you can stay if you want to come to Italy early, which I always recommend, or stay in Greece. You can build a much longer trip with this as the center. Yeah,
I mean, Athens is an amazing city. I spent 4 or 5 days there before a Splendor cruise, 7 Seas Splendor cruise last year.
What I was on, yeah.
And it was incredible. We stayed in the Plaka area, so it was all walk around, restaurants everywhere, just such a great atmosphere. We said we didn't really understand Athens until we stayed in it and really driven around and walked around and saw the real city at work. But of course, all the antiquities there are just mind-blowing. I mean, the Olympic Stadium, the original Olympic Stadium, for example.
Yes.
And, the guards at the National Palace. I mean, there were so many good experiences. I think I almost broke my phone with taking all the photos. But no, it's a really good experience to be there.
It's something amazing. So Valerie just commented. Valerie came on the last cruise in April because she knew me from the show. We hadn't met in person, and she brought me this beautiful gift, this picture of this mouse pad with my dog. She knew me from social media and brought me this gift, and I was so touched. And it's a wonderful experience to have people come who they feel they know me, and then I get to know them. Yeah. And so Valerie just mentioned she's thinking about coming back in October. And what I love, Steve, is I think people have gotten the lesson of the pandemic, and it's like live while you can live. And they're going on 2-3 big trips a year, 2-3 cruises, spending it now and enjoying yourself.
Enjoying life. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So I'm enthused. I'm always happy to see that people are getting. Boy, we're out. Everyone's back out, and
oh yes, yeah,
and realizes we can't wait forever. We have to try it.
There's a lot to discover out there, so take it while you can. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, I'm thrilled to work with Regent. What I didn't mention is that you're also the sponsor of the first season of Dream of Europe. If I have bags under my eyes, we have been editing the season. I didn't even tell Melaine this. We had so much great footage. We have added another episode.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
And we are you will see the ship and the cruising in one of our episodes. We have 2 episodes on Greece.
Yeah.
We recorded our theme song in London at Abbey Road Studios. So we go to London. Oh, it's crazy.
Fantastic.
Malta, which is a great cruise destination, France. So it's been wonderful to work with Regent, and that they appreciate this kind of content, this kind of like authentic, seeing the sights. We all want to see the things we've always heard about, right? Like the Parthenon or the Vatican, but seeing them in new ways.
Yeah.
And then going to other places or having special experiences. And I think we have the same sort of ethos with the show and with Regent. So
we really enjoy working with you as well. And
Lane and I, you become like family. We've been working together on this. She was on the cruise. I have to tell you, the people who work for Regent are lovely, lovely people. And this all matters because it extends to the guest experience, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, this is a word of mouth business, and personal storytelling, I think, is very powerful. And so we love doing work like this, and we're really enjoying cooperating with you.
I can't wait till you see it, because we have beautiful drone, just gorgeous footage. And we're trying to do each time we do a new show to bring it to a higher and higher level. And so I'm always honored that, a company like yours will work with us and sponsor it. So grateful for that.
Thank you.
People come on board. They'll see Dream of Italy is airing in the staterooms for the whole cruise if you want to watch it. And then I'm sure we had a great seminar about how I make the TV show. People would be really surprised how it all works. So we'll do something like that. I don't know if we're filming on board yet, but we might. You may be in the show. If any of the guests may be in the show. I know the ladies who were on here. We captured them. We did a cocktail making lesson with them, and it was really fun. So I hope people will think about coming. You're welcome to email me personally if you have questions, Kathy@dreamofitaly.com. But I think it's the perfect time of year. And why Steve, I don't plan a year ahead. I'm not I'm not booking the 2026 cruise. I'm the one who's like, okay, 3 months.
Yeah.
So those are my people. The ones
you're like me. Yeah. I'm impromptu. I am.
I have the luxury of that probably. I don't have kids, and I don't have to book during a vacation.
Right.
But why not? Things are good. 3 months from now should be good. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right,
maybe
Steve.
I'll come.
I've practically they're all going to be fighting over who the Regent person is who comes, because we have so much fun.
Absolutely.
You can put your hat in the ring.
All right, I'll have to get it passed by Melaine.
Yes. We'll have a great time, whoever comes.
All right.
Thank you again for joining me.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'll see you on the open sea. I'll see you sometime out there. It's, what I really want to go. I'm very lucky I get to Europe and Italy, but I was thinking this morning, because I was thinking about our chat. I'm like, I got to get on one of these South Pacific.
Oh, right. Well, let's make a plan.
Rose, who's on here, she's doing Japan.
Yeah.
Japan, Korea, that looks.
Well, that's one of my favorite destinations. If you ask me my first choice of destination, I would say Japan.
Wow.
It's such an extraordinary
Because for me, that would be a very unfamiliar place. So I would want to go on a cruise. That would be the first choice for me. I want to, that's not a language that's familiar. And so I would want someone to just take me by the hand.
And a cruise is a really great way to do Japan for the first time, because it's probably one of the most foreign places you'll go in terms of language and food. But if you're taken by the hand, which you are taking the cruise option, it's a really fantastic way to see that country.
Oh, well, we'll have to talk about that. That would be.
We'll talk some more.
I have a bigger show. We can put that one on.
All right. Sounds good.
But it's wonderful. I could talk all day. I'm a convert now, Steve. You pulled me in.
Good to hear it.
The Regent, you can't get out. You get in, you can't get out. That is how it works. All right.
Thanks, Kathy.
You. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think we're still on.